Hello, hello. It's Amy from Seriously Sweet and Cookie Snack Attack. How is everyone tonight? We're going to do this really cute Christmas cookie jar, or you could just call it a cookie jar tutorial tonight. But we're going to have some fun this evening. And I'm going to show you how to actually make little royal icing transfers that are cookies, but we're going to use something else in the actual jar tonight so that it doesn't take all night, okay? Let's just see who's here and say hello to everybody. Also, it's up for sale on the website, seriouslysweetcupcakes.com. It's our Christmas ornaments class. It's jam-packed full of techniques. Plus, we're making all of the little sprinkle embellishments that you see there. You're just going to need to have a bow mold if you have one. If not, just some fondant, and I'll show you how to roll out your bows. But over the last 3 years of doing the live streaming, we've probably, I don't know, offered more than half a dozen to a dozen different options on bow molds, but the class bow molds. All right, so the class is up for sale. It is $25. It will release pre-recorded on Thursday in case you want to view it ahead of time. And we will be having a Zoom class that's going to start at 7 p.m. this Friday night. So you can come hang out in the Zoom and treat it like a Christmas party, or you can come ready to decorate cookies with me. It's going to be entirely up to you. Hey, y'all, how is everybody tonight? I hope you are doing well. We should also be streaming live on Instagram. So if you are over there on Instagram, please say hello. We are we're testing it out with StreamYard. It seems to be worse. a few extra steps each time we go live, but so far so good. Hey, Julie, how are you? All right, you guys, don't forget. Hey, Janie, how are you doing tonight? Kathy, hello there. Hi, Holly. Hope everyone is. Let's see. Oh, what just happened? That was weird. The screen just rolled all the way to the bottom. Hey, Camille, how are you? Everything out the door and done. Woohoo! Now it's time to have some fun. Hi, Joyce. How are you? Myra, it's good to see you. Hi, Karen. Hi, Darlene. Hello, Facebook user. How are you doing tonight? Okay, so the Christmas ornament class, don't be concerned that it's ornaments because it is, we're learning how to make the embellishments that are on the cookies as well. In case you ever have a situation where you need to make something that matches on the fly. I'm also going to teach you how to make confectioner's glaze in this class and actually let you watch it being made so that you're all set with that. So everything you're going to learn in this class, even though I'm doing it on an ornament because we ordered those ornament cutters in, is actual techniques that you can use all throughout the year. All right. I just noticed right before we were going live that my icing had separated a little bit on what I'm going to use for the royal icing transfers. So I wanted to give it a quick stir. Let's see, is this showing? Yeah. Okay. So here's my cup right there. I'm just getting this all settled. And then we'll jump in. So I just have some icing there. Can you guys see that? I'm going to put it, let me switch cameras. We're going to make this cool cookie jar cookie tonight. Let's see. You guys, please share. Take a second while I'm getting this last thing ready for the live stream, and share the stream. Bring some more people over to us. And you guys buy that class so that we can have the Zoom on Friday. I can't wait. It'll be a lot of fun. Might even have some giveaways for you. So even if you don't actually want to do this class right now, if you purchase the class, you'll be in the Zoom on Friday night. We're going to start at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So that's 4 p.m. Pacific. Trying to find places to set things down where I won't knock something else over. So I hope you'll come and join us. So the color that I'm using is the color, it's a light brown because I just want it to look like a chocolate chip cookie. So a chocolate chip cookie tends to have that light brown color to it because most chocolate chip cookie recipes, if not all, have a little bit of brown sugar. So the dough's a little bit different color. All right, let's see if we can pull this in a little bit. We're going to do something fun tonight. I think every time we're on, we try to do something fun, but we're going to do something a little different tonight. Let me put it like that with how we're going to create this jar. And hopefully you guys will like it. Honestly, what we're about to do, if this was an order for customers, I would not be doing what I'm about to show you, but it's kind of fun to do this. So we're going to give it a little whirl tonight. Just do something a little bit different. Okay, so do we have enough light on here? Because to me on my computer, that looks very dark. How's that looking to you guys? Is that okay? Maybe it's just my computer screen. Huh, I wonder if there's a way to make my monitor brighter. There must be, right? Let me see if I can find a setting to make my monitor brighter, guys, because it looks very dark. And it looks like, yeah, okay, hold on. Oh, really weird. I wonder why it did that. All right, well, I'm on. It's so odd. Does it look okay on your end? Like, is it just my computer screen? Let me see if I can turn this all the way. Oh, yeah, that's so much better. Okay, that looks good. Sound is good. All this is good. Everybody's okay. So let's see. So I totally cheated tonight. Had some popcorn for dinner. Packing up and heading to Arizona tomorrow. Cool. I hope you have a safe trip. Hello, Whoopi Cindy. How are you? Are you surviving the holiday season at UPS? Hello, Sally Newton. Why are you exhausted? What's going on? Hello, hello. Hey, Liz. How are you guys doing? I hope everyone's having a really fun night. Hey, Chelsea. How are you? 9 a.m. Japanese time the next day. Okay, so if you didn't hear, we're having a Zoom this Friday night. It's a paid class. We're going to learn a bunch. We're going to learn how to make the embellishments that go on the cookies. And we're using those embellishments on ornament cookies so that you can do them for Christmas if you want to. But it would be 9 a.m. your time on Saturday if we do it at 7 p.m. our time on Friday night. So if you want to join in, the class is really inexpensive, $25, and you can reproduce it to use it to make profit. Hopefully you can join us. Hello there, Julie. Renee, looking good. I don't know what happened, but it took my computer monitor all the way down to 0 on my side. So I just took it all the way back up to 100. So there we go. I think we're okay. Hey, Lavelle, how are you? So for everyone who's just tuning in, because the numbers, like, I don't know if everybody just got their text messages or if we had a couple of good shares. Hey, Vicky, how are you? But I have a new class up for sale. All the pre-recorded bits and pieces will be in a private Facebook group for Thursday. That's this Thursday. Today is Tuesday. It will be all in there by Thursday evening in case you want to watch it ahead of time. But it's this really cool Christmas ornaments class. We're going to talk about depth, perception. We're going to create our own embellishments. We've even got a little line drawing in this class, wet on wet. Should be all things that you have and then things we're going to make. And you only need a little bit of icing to do the class. But it is up for sale on the website, seriouslysweetcupcakes.com. And it's just $25. And we're going to have a Zoom class on Friday night. So everything pre-recorded will release Thursday, and then the Zoom class will be Friday night at 7 p.m. And you can come hang out, or you can come and decorate cookies with me Friday night. It'll be like our Christmas party. Hello there. Hello. 10 a.m. in Australia. Australia. Is that what you said? I was reading 3 things together. I was reading that and that and that off the Instagram thing. That's so funny. Sorry. Oh, cool. 6 years old already. Well, Cindy, I hope you'll join us. Hey, Sharon, how are you? So you guys just start picking up that class. Also, don't forget the year-long celebrations class. I left it on sale at $110. We needed 5. Now we need 4. We need 4 more people to purchase that class so I can unlock another level of awesomeness within the group for the year, okay? Ooh, Julie, watching me and doing billing. So billing, I hate doing billing and invoicing and all that stuff, but it is a necessary part of our jobs, isn't it? All right, so let's take a look at this cookie. We're going to have some fun with this tonight. This is actually from a cookie cutter that I used in a Valentine set 2 or 3 years ago. So you guys probably have this. I'm going to make a little tongue-in-cheek here. The cutter came from overseas. It's food safe. You're going to be okay. Now, let's do the cookie. All right. So 2 things I want to do. Can I just jump right in? Nobody has questions? Yeah, Julie remembers it. All right. Well, we're going to do this a little bit different, but most of you will have the cookie cutter, isn't my point of that whole conversation. All right. Now I'm going to turn it because I am right-handed. I want to create an arc that's like a rounded top right here. So I'm just going to sketch on the cookie using my edible ink marker. FDA approved edible ink marker right here, buddy. Okay. I'm just going to sketch this because I want a little rounded lid. I shouldn't be funny. I mean, maybe I'm not even funny to you. I don't know, but I'm just saying. All right, now we're going to do fondant work on this cookie tonight, but if you're going to do it for a customer, I would use modeling chocolate. It's just my preference, but I'm going to do fondant, and then I'm going to paint it with non-toxic gold, and you're still going to live. All right, so this is what the top of my cookie jar is going to look like, okay? I know, silly me. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Hey, how are you, Kelly? It's good to see you. All right, so now what I want to do down at the bottom, because what we're going to do tonight's a little bit different, I'm going to come up about 1/4 of an inch and over about 1/4 of an inch, up and over right here. Sally Newton, you probably remember this cookie cutter, and I'm going to match my curve to the bottom of the cookie. Okay, and then I'm going to come in about 1/4 of an inch, and I'm going to match my curve to the outside of the cookie. Okay, same thing over here. It's stuck in my brain. Also, I did ask you guys earlier today, I forgot to put the arc. Yes, arc, curve. Is that what you meant? I forgot to put the album in the group for Valentine's Day, but please go find a cookie, any Valentine cookie that is PG-13. Totally. Wait, totally missed what all this silliness is about. Yes, yes, I'm just being silly now because it wasn't silly the other day. Yes, Myra, you do have this cutter. This is my favorite shape. Yes, 2 to 3 years back. Can you believe that, Sally? When aren't they? That's all I have to say to that. Oh, by the way, can I show you something pretty just because it's pretty? And yes, you will also live if you use this makeup brush that's brand new that I've sanitized for food use as dusting brush. You will not die from this either. Anyway, I found this. It was $3 at one of the Dollar Trees. In the little town that I live in, there's like 4 dollar stores and only one main grocery store, but whatever, because they have cool stuff. So I found this the other day, and it's a double-sided duster, and it was pink. So I thought maybe I'll use it later. Maybe I won't. I don't know. Anyway, we're going to have some fun with this. Grab any Valentine cookie as long as it's PG-13. So Myra, I just do the same thing I do when I do my food sanitizer. I have these strips that do 50 parts per million, and you do a bleach water solution, and I completely submerge it and wash it in that and then let it air dry. And that's it. Just same thing you do to make all your other stuff. Food. I just thought it was cute, and it was pink, and it was, happy. Okay, so tonight, if you haven't bought your year-long class, go tonight while it's still $110. It's on the website, seriouslysweetcupcakes.com. Go grab your year-long class. There's a minimum of 2 tutorials a month, and if we get 4 more people, we're going to hit that magic number, and it's going to unlock another level of awesomeness within the group for the year with extra things that I have planned, because it will be a large enough group to carry the weight of having the extra things that I want to do. So go buy your year-long pass, seriouslysweetcupcakes.com. While you're over there, buy your $25 class, even if you don't get to do it right now. That way you can sit in on the Zoom class on Friday night, and we can all hang out together and have like a mini Christmas party. All right, so go do that. Now we're going to just do something fun. All right, this is something that I've done on competition pieces. I'm not the only one that does this. Tons of people do this. But I wanted to just show you an example of a single level cookie. Instead of doing like the piñata baking that we've done before, I did a snowflake for you guys. I've done a taco, bunch of different stuff that I've done where you bake multiple levels to do your inserts. You could do this as a single level cookie. Absolutely, you could. And just glue your royal icing transfers on here. But I thought I'd just show you something else fun for your toolbox. I don't know. I just have a feeling that like a bunch of you are going to wind up on Food Network or something next year, and you're just going to need some of these toolbox skills. And I hope while you're there, you're thinking, man, I'm so glad Amy showed me that. I'm so glad I'm so glad. So I'm just basically scraping this outline. Have you figured out what I'm about to do yet? I'm not just making an outline to like ice. I'm actually going to dig a smidge of this cookie out. Okay. Using an X-Acto knife. Can you guys see okay? Just going to dig a little bit of this out, and then I'm going to switch to my boo-boo stick where I got it started. I don't need a lot of this out. I just want some out. Tons of other ways to do this. I know, before I even look up at my screen, yes, there's lots of other ways to do this. This is how we're going to do it tonight because I want to spend some time with you. And if you want to wait and watch this video when it's over so that you don't have to watch this part, you could do that too. You will live that way as well. Oh, I just hit the camera. Sorry about that, guys. Can you still see okay? Oh! Sorry, hold on. Let me just do this a little bit neater. I thought my cookie was moist enough it would come out in clumps, but I guess I've had the heat on in the house, like pretty blasting all day because it's so cold here. And it's not even like nuclear winter cold here yet. It's just cold. Like we had a bunch of rain and it just got in the house. And so I have the dehumidifiers running for the rain, but then I've got the heat blasting and it's just a lot. Got any questions over there? Oh, good. You're going to finish your gnome one tonight. I'm excited about that. Myra, thank you. I know. Can you imagine that you're still alive? Thank you. Let's see. Yes. Yes, yes. Okay, so 4 of you get on over there and buy that class. You know you want to be in on all the fun for the whole year. So anyway, it's very dry in my house was the point of that conversation. And so what has happened here is my cookie really dried out today, which is fine. It doesn't matter, but it's easier when your cookie's fresh because you can just take this out while it's warm and it goes fast. It doesn't usually take this long. How's everybody doing? Anybody over there need help with anything? Everybody's okay? So guess what, guys? I know I like to roll it forward and I like to pay back what you guys roll forward to me because there's different times of the year where you really help out. Woo! Good Lord, I'm going to have to vacuum in here if this keeps up. Sorry, I don't really want to vacuum again. I already vacuumed the whole house today. Anyway, what was I about to tell you? It's easier when there's another person on here. They can keep you in line. Let me see. Hold on. It's about to tell you something, you guys. Hold on. It'll come to me. Anybody over there in the comments? It's a 1/4 inch thick, Kathy. I'm just going to take out about half of it. I can't remember what we were even talking about. I was about to tell you something, and then all the cookie went everywhere. You seen that movie with Julia Roberts in it? I don't remember which one it is, but she's trying to eat a snail, and all of a sudden she like goes to grab the snail, and it's got to be a really old movie because I would have seen it in high school. Clips the snail, and then all of a sudden it goes flying across the room, and she says, slippery little sucker. Do y'all remember that movie? All right, so I'm just taking a little bit out. I just want it slightly recessed, and really I want it recessed so you know that you can do this, because when a cookie's been overbaked just a little bit, the structure, especially on like a sugar cookie like this, as long as you did the paper towels when it came out of the oven to get the extra moisture out of it, like to suck out the butter bleed or what could the butter, so you don't get butter bleed. I put mine on paper towels. You can do this. So you can get multiple dimensions without technically going 3D, right? Now, if you cut yourself, I'm not responsible. Okay. There's so much stuff going on lately that I feel like I say that all the time. I am not responsible for that. That is not the opinion or voice of Cookie Snack Attack. That person is not speaking for me. Blah, blah, blah. Y'all know that, don't you? Unless you heard it directly from me, don't assume it's me. I shouldn't have to say that, but just to be safe, might as well do a little redirect while we're scraping out this stuff. Look at how cute that is. Can you see it? It's all ready. Oh, pretty woman. Oh, pay it forward. Okay, yes. So you know what I was excited about? So I like to do that, and I like to try to do more than what you guys do when you do stuff for me. So I had a goal that I wanted to be rolling it forward to help different people out with different things this year in the cookie world, cookie communities, like to, to get to retreats or to get to CookieCon or stuff like that. And I'm happy to say that I met my goal. And I believe I might be able to squeeze in a little more before the end of the year. I'm not really sure I'm going to be able to because I really need to take care of the live streaming expenses for the last couple of weeks. And the fact that I wasn't working during those times because I was doing all that other stuff. But I really had a large number this year. It was over 1,500 that I was able to roll forth in our group from just me, just one person. So I'm just so excited about that because I feel like it just keeps multiplying every year. And I love that. Got to be responsible. Okay, I'm almost done. Man, I can't believe how much this dried out. Like I even put it in the dehydrator a little bit today, like early this morning, because I was worried it was going to be too wet for tonight. Clearly, after the heat got rolling and the rain got out of here, it not a problem. So I'm doing a bunch of different stuff on this cookie. And before anyone like sends me messages, why'd you show us that? Because I'll never do that. Okay, look, first of all, you might do it. You might need it for a competition. You might want it for a feature cookie one day. There's tons of things that what I'm showing you right now could lead to. Tons of different things that you could do. So my advice to you is never say never. Thank you is great in this group. Love that. And just learn the technique. Okay? Because if you haven't noticed or you weren't here the whole year, I did a very methodical, thought through process of who I brought into the group to give you guys instruction, where they've been, what they do for a living. And I don't just mean their cookie jobs. I mean what they do for their living, if cookies are their side hustle, and what kind of things they compete in, what kind of programs they've been on before. And I tried to really give you a well-rounded representation in the cookie community of full-time cookiers to side hustle, cottage bakers to bakeries, competition people on TV shows to competition people at cake shows. Like I brought you the gamut. So you have to always look and see what you're supposed to be learning. There's always a reason. It's very rare that I just randomly go, oh, hey, can you come on Cookie Snack Attack and do XYZ? It may not fit your daily life, but it may fit the other part of the group's daily life, or it may fit what's coming up that you guys don't know about, or it may just be interesting. And your little brains like just start popping sometimes after these live streams. So, I've tried to do a very well-rounded presentation for you this year using all the members that are in our group. Like just reaching out everywhere it seemed like we had a need for something, because you never know when you're going to get that call to go on Food Network, and you're going to need to know how to do something quicker than like having it in a dehydrator for 12 hours. Like I'm always trying to show you all of the things as much as possible. All right, now this is how I like it right here, where you're on that crumb. All right, so you're right. As a feature cookie, this would be fine. As a cookie, if I was going to do a whole bunch of these for a customer, there's an easier way to do this, but that's not what we're doing tonight. So we're going to stick with this for tonight. Okay? Now, I just want you to look. Take a good look. See it? It's about half the way down. So we're going to create some dimension. There is a time where you might need this. So we're going to create some dimension on this cookie, and we just gave it another level. You know how we build layers on our cookies when we're decorating, and we talk about background, midground, foreground, that type stuff. So we just recessed it so that we could have a whole nother level on this cookie. Now I'm getting rid of this because I could see this going all kinds of sideways. Okay. Everybody okay? Nobody's head spinning like a Chucky doll yet? Okay, fresh paper towel. I know. See, Janie, that's how I feel about it too. And I also feel like thank you is great. And I also know I can't please everyone. So just rolling with the majority here. Isn't it great how much our group has grown over the last 3 years? Hey, Charlotte, watch for something to arrive at your house soon. Yes, and you got to just do you. You just got to keep moving forward. And what I want is for all of you to be very well-rounded in the cookie industry. Ooh, well, Kelly, you better tell me what the tool is, because I intentionally used the X-Acto knife because it's pretty common. So I figured most people would have it, but I have a Dremel, I have a Zito pen. I've got all that. So don't send me those, because there might be somebody else that needs it more than me. But that's just an X-Acto. So if you get caught somewhere and you have to do something quick. Let's see. Yes. Any Valentine's Day cookie that you already have done, as long as it's PG-13, I'm going to put the album in as soon as we get off the live stream tonight. Okay. Hello there. Yeah, it absolutely could. Now, here's what we're going to do. We're going to thin some icing. Actually, no, we're not. We're going to do this differently tonight. We're going to use some white food gel. You know, I don't know why, but these bottles are terrible leakage. These bottles leak something fierce. Okay, so I think I said earlier that I'm going to show you how to do this, but we're going to put something different in the jar. So I'm going to show you how to make the royal icing transfer cookies. But we're actually going to just put sprinkles in here for tonight, okay? Because once I pop those in the microwave, good howdy. Once I pop them in the dehydrator, that's what I was trying to say. All right, and I do feel like this is a little thick. Once I pop the royal icing transfers, I'm going to show you how to make the little baby cookies, because you can use them on a flat tray, on a rectangular cookie. You could make like a cookie tray and pile them up like that one I did for 4th of July that year, or you could do them in a jar like this. So I'm going to thin this out so it goes a little further. And that's just Everclear and white food gel, okay? I don't want to fill it with icing because basically no more than I took out of it, it would just fill it back up. So I want to just dye what's there. Okay. And I'm doing white because I'm doing like, I just want a white cookie jar because it looks Christmassy to me. You don't have to do white. You can do whatever you want. Okay. No one's going to know. Love to see pictures though, if you do try to make this. Like to see. And if anybody from the previous class where you actually had this particular cookie cutter, that'd be great. All right. Now I just want to make sure I get that lip on the side, that indentation there. Boy, is the camera doing good tonight. Look at that. Look, good, huh? So I want that to be fully covered. You could do this by dyeing your cookie dough too. Like if you want to do a different color of your cookie jar, you could do that as well. Okay, this is not the only way around the barn with this cookie. All right, so the next thing I'm going to do though is I'm going to go ahead and ice around. Actually, you know what I'm going to do? Let me take that back. I'm going to do something else before we do that. I need a little more Everclear because I need it to be even thinner. So, you know, we normally talk about our whole cookie being a canvas. And in competitions, they always look to see if you finish the sides and the back. So it's not going to hurt you to take an extra second or two and just whitewash the edges. Just a little bit, just to knock the color off. Now, if you do this in a chocolate cookie, that's not going to work very well. So just use your best judgment. You'd have to like full on paint it rather than just a thin coating. Okay. So I just hit my edges. Okay. That's all I needed. And I thinned it out to do it because I really didn't want it to be thick, and I don't want it to affect the flavor in case somebody were going to eat it, because this is the way we're going to do this cookie. It is a cookie that could be edible. Ooh, so should I do that, Marianne? I don't understand why it does that, but what I do is I take that white plumber's seal tape stuff, you know, like you do to fix leaky faucets and stuff, and I put around it and then screw the lid back on. But this is a new bottle and I forgot to do it. Yeah, just so it's well-rounded. Okay, now I'm going to do my icing, and I'm going to use a tipless bag to do that. I'm going to cut it to about a 2-point tip opening. You know, just about the only debate that hasn't come up in the group in the last 2 weeks is a preference on what brand of piping tips. And so we're not going to have that tonight either. But that's just about the only thing that hasn't come around this week where someone's had thoughts. All right, here we go. So my icing, I thinned it. It's a little thinner than my normal consistency of 18 to 20. I'd say this is more like, I don't know, 14. And I did that because I wanted to have really smooth edging. And if it runs off a little, I've already painted the sides white, so it's not a big deal. But I'm not even outlining and flooding. I'm literally just basically letting it come out of the tip of the bag. I mean, I'm only doing this part right here. Okay. Then I'm going to pop this in the dehydrator just to help it set, since it's a thinner icing than I normally use. I'm going to let it set up in the dehydrator while I show you how to make the royal icing transfers, because they're just cute as a button and you need to know how to make them. That will come in handy all year long. So we're going to make sugar cookies and chocolate chip cookies. Just make sure this is good. Is it looking good? It's hard to tell when you're working bird's eye with the camera if you've got the shape right. So I'm just going to take a second and make sure this looks cute. Looking good. Now, if you were doing this as a single level cookie, then it would be worth the time to go back and put some reflection marks in your icing. So let me show you how to do that. Even on this little lip, it'll still look pretty. I don't know that we really need it because we've got so much other going on, but I want to show you how to do it while we're on this tutorial. Is that all right? So I have a little bit of Wedgwood blue. You can use Wedgwood, you can use aqua, you can use a very pale blue, whatever you want. Very thin opening on your tip. And then just a little line. You just want this to be a wet on wet that settles down into that jar. To make it look like it's a reflection line in the jar. And if you don't like how it's spaced out, then just use your scribe, your thingamajiggy, and just kind of stretch that a little bit and knock off if it got a little thicker at the end than in the middle. And then just a little one down here is what I normally do. Okay, all on one side, basically like where the reflection would be if the light were hitting it. And it just so happens tonight, my ring light's on that side, so I can see exactly where the light would be hitting it because the ring light is showing me. So I'm basically using my ring light like a projector. All right, so let me set this to the side so that doesn't leak everywhere. We're going to pop this in. Let me just make sure it's not running off. Nope, looks good. That looks good. I'm popping it in the dehydrator, and we're going to make the royal icing transfers. Then we're going to do our fondant, and then we'll fill it. We're going to fill it like it's candies, though, instead of cookies tonight, because the transfers won't be dry in time, okay? So easy. You guys probably already all have this. Just round up a little bit of the light brown, Round up some white, maybe tint your white just a little bit with ivory if you want it to look really sugar cookie-ish. Fine. I'm going to use pink sanding sugar. You use whatever sugar you want to use, but I'm going to use some pink. Okay. I also rounded up my black nonpareils because they look like chocolate chips. And I also rounded up some mixed coarse pink and white sanding sugar. Okay. So that's what I'm going to do mine with. I'm just going to grab one sheet. I'm going to do one sheet, pop it in the dehydrator. Let's see if we have any questions. Let's see, Christina, hold on. Valentine's Day marks 1 year. Wow, that's so cool. That's so much fun. But I bet you can do it now. If not, we're doing it again soon, so you'll be okay. Hey, Christina, did you buy your year pass to be in the celebrations group? I can't remember. I should have checked that list before I jumped on. Hey, Nadine, how in the world are you? All right, so let's do this. Now, if I were, normally I just print out a whole sheet of 1/4-inch circles. That's it. And I just do that. And I do one type of cookie on a whole sheet. But for this, I'm going to pipe perpendicular to the page. The cookies can be different sizes. I'm just piping right. I'm going to show you sideways in a second, but I want you to see this one first. Maybe I can zoom in a little. Can you see that? So depending on how thin your icing is, why can't you see that? Hold on, too far over. There we go. So depending on how thick or thin your icing is how much it's going to spread out. So the key to these is that you want it to be around a 14 to 18 second icing because you kind of want it to hold, but you want it to be smooth. Although chocolate chip cookies could be rough if you wanted them to. It's really not that big a deal. But you pipe at a 90-degree angle right into the center. Just push, 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 push. Because what happens is gravity takes over and it makes it round. So you don't have to worry about piping a circle and then filling it in and maybe your circle isn't round. Do you see that? And also if your icing's just right, you can take a scribe and just push that tip down in there. And I also like to just pipe and agitate it with the tip of my bag. And then I don't have to pick my scribe up because if you're picking your scribe up, your profitability is going down. I'm going to do like 2 rows of this because we're going to do 2 different things on here. And I'm just spacing them out. But normally, again, it's like a macaron mat that has the circles on it. I make a royal icing transfer template that's all 1/4-inch circles. And I just go from there. Now, I'm not so worried about knocking these tips down because every single one of these is going to either get sugar or black nonpareils because we're making either chocolate chip cookies or sugar cookies with pink sugar. So I'm not that worried about it. But if I needed to knock the tips down, I would just agitate it with the tip of my bag there. All right, let me come down here just a little. And again, I'm just going to show you how to make these. And then tomorrow I'll add them to the jar and take a picture with them finished. But I don't want to keep you on all night with this. So. And this is my royal glaze. And if you're in the celebrations group, you're going to get my sugar cookie recipe, my royal icing recipe, my royal glaze recipe. And if we get to enough people, you might get some bonuses throughout the year. All right, I'm going to do the third one down here. We're unlocking levels. I feel like I'm talking of gamers, video gamers language, but really I planned it where if we had enough growth and we hit certain numbers, I would do additional things each month. So grab your yearly class, celebrations class, grab it while it's still $110. Let me lift this up just a little bit. Can you guys see that? So we have 3 rows going. I'm going to keep it on the paper towel. Grab that and then go grab the $25 class, pre-recorded of the class we'll release Thursday. And then we're going to have a Zoom class on Friday. All right, so I'm just, oh, no, I don't even have to do that because I found my fancy sprinkle spoon for you guys. I wanted to use the pretty stuff tonight. So just a little sprinkle on these. Hope I didn't let them dry too long. I think those first couple are too dry already. So 1 or 2 rows at a time. I thought my icing was a little wetter that it might stick, but we'll just skip those first couple and see a little bit more, and we'll see what happens. Okay, and let's go to the nonpareils. Hopefully these will stick. Oh yes, some are sticking, some are not. Let's do this row on over here because this was the last one I did, so it'll be a little wetter. But it looks like baby chocolate chips. Oh my God. Everybody done? Ready for Christmas? I'm not. I'm definitely not. But I will be. I will be. I have a little bit more to do. Finalize my storefront, and then I am all on full hilt Christmas. I mean, like literally just a couple little tiny things. All right, how are you guys doing? So can you see the chocolate chip? Do you want me to zoom in so you can see it, what it looks like with these nonpareils? Because it's so cute. So there's the sugar cookie ones on the top row. This is what the chocolate chip ones would look like. Now I'm going to zoom back out so I don't forget. And then I'm going to tap them in there just a little bit using my thingamajiggy. Is that the Monsters theme song that's stuck in my head? I don't know. I don't know. Y'all see my reel of the Christmas tree scribe, which is the tutorial I did for you guys during the Christmas event, one of the 2 tutorials? I put it up a couple of times. It's such a cool thing of the video of the tree spinning. So I don't know if I ever came back on and told you or not, but the not funny is that my turntable would not work because the jar with all the sprinkles, and then I added that fancy jar, it was too heavy. So it would not work. And I had to figure out a way to get that recorded spinning. So I had to I taped a ribbon with painter's tape to the bottom of the jar and then wound it around the jar like 4 times and then started right up next to the jar with my arm and just gently pulled like this and then didn't video the whole bottom of the jar. That was the only way I could get that spinning video like last year. I need to order a turntable that will handle more weight, but it's not critical right now. All right, so I like my little chocolate chip ones. They're so stinking cute, you guys. Do you like those? I made chocolate chip cookies with toasted pecans about 3 nights ago, and they were absolutely delicious. Okay, let me cover this up because I don't want to accidentally spill it. But you see, it took no sugar whatsoever to do this. Nothing. Now let's see if this is still wet enough I can get these large crystals to work. All right. Okay, let's see what happens here. Oh, it's not going to stick. Okay, hold on. So we'll do a couple more right here, okay? So that they're wet. And we can put some of this bigger pink on here. Now, normally on a small cookie like this, I don't mix the cookies in the cookie jar because it visually seems like it takes away from what's going on in the cookie jar, but you can if you want to. But I don't mind doing like 2 to 3 different varieties on a tray of 6 cookies if I'm doing a tray cookie. That's different. I don't mind doing that at all. But like these are going to kind of get piled on top of each other type situation. Now, if I had done 3 separate sheets, then I would have scooped up the sugar and put it back in its container. But this, for the purpose of this demo, I'm just going to throw it out when I'm done because it's mixed now. I've got the nonpareils mixed in with all the little sugars. All right, and then we've got some naked cookies too, basically, is what has happened here. So, all right, there we go. Let's just tip the sugar off, pop this into the dehydrator. So when you see the picture tomorrow, this is how we made all of those. So we've got some hot pink sugar cookies at the top there. We've got some like crystal type cookies in the center there. And then we've got the chocolate chip down here, all using the same color base for the cookies. Pop this in the dehydrator. Tomorrow when you see the final picture, you'll know how we made these. For tonight, we're just going to put some glittery candy beads in there so it looks like a candy jar. All right, but in the spirit of doing a more mixed media type cookie tonight, we're going to do fondant so that we get another level of dimension on our cookie by raising it off the cookie. So that's what we're going to do next. Then I'll put the candies in, and then this one's done. Can you believe it? We're only going to have one more Tuesday, I think, in December. Does that sound right? Is that possible? Let me just look. 4 more people need to go by the celebrations class. If you're on the fence, just jump in. It's a lot of fun. All right, so we have, there's only one more Tuesday. It'll be the day after Christmas, but I will be on here unless something catastrophic happens, which please, God, nothing catastrophic is going to happen. Okay, but I do plan on being on here, and I have something fun for New Year's. Okay, here's my jar. This way. Allison, those little tiny things. Hey, how are you? Christina, yay! Eat all my mistakes. Absolutely. No one else will know their mistakes, most likely, though, Christina. Thank you, Myra. It was pretty spinning. Like I did the up and down so everybody could see their scribes, but it's pretty when it's spinning because all the colors. So Allison, in the dehydrator, those are going to be dry within an hour because they're so small. I mean, like dry, popping off the paper dry. They're dating. Oh, that's funny. Okay, so we have this, and I like the dehydrator or tabletop fan for this because it put a little sheen. Like that icing's not dry all the way through, but it has a little sheen now, which I like. Eat the evidence, so no mistakes. Yeah, you go for it, girls. And it is crazy. The year is almost over. I don't know. It's so weird. It's so weird to me that it's almost over, but I feel like I've been under high pressure stress all year long. So, I mean, I get why for me it feels like that, but because I don't feel like any of it slowed down at all for me. All right, so I just have a little bit of white fondant here. I probably should have covered it with a little bit of press and seal. And I am having a little bit of trouble with my hand. So if you see me flipping it back and forth, that's why. I took a spin the other day and hit my knee, bent my leg backward, fell on my knee, then fell on my hip, then fell on my elbow, hurt my wrist because I tried to catch myself. Thank God I didn't break anything, but I tell you what, I've been sore as all get out the last 3 days. Is it 3 days? Yeah, about 3 days. I mean, just sore. So then I told Debbie, clearly I cannot be left alone to do things anymore. Not right now. I'm too tired. All right, so I've just warmed it up. Am I still zoomed in? Let me go out a little bit, you guys. I'll come back in so you can see it again in a minute, but let's put this up here. I'm going to make this bottom ring, and I want that to be higher. And also I'm going to use just a little bit. Nadine, for real, it's been 5 years. I can't believe that because, I mean, in some ways I feel like I've known you my whole life, and in other ways I feel like I just met you, right? It's so weird. All right, so I'm just going to roll this out. I want this one to stick out further, this one to be a little less, and then this ball to just be a nice round ball. So let's start with this. Normally I would attach it to the cookie with some water or some piping gel. And you could use modeling chocolate. You could use moldable royal icing. So much stuff you could use. I'm going to use fondant because it's easier for my demo. We're not going to debate which kind of fondant we're going to use. We're just going to use some fondant. You can make it yourself at home with marshmallows. You can buy it from like 100 million different companies. Really, there's not that many. I'm just exaggerating. But you can buy it from any of the number of companies you want. But I am just using Wilton because it is easy to get a hold of. And no one is eating this cookie. And if they were, some people really like Wilton fondant. Just saying. So I'm rolling nice and even. If I want to roll on the tabletop, I could just roll this like this, okay? I could use a fondant smoother to roll it so it's nice and level all the way across, but I'm pretty good at rolling out these like log looking areas, so I'm not that worried about it. Normally I would use water or piping gel. I'm just going to use a little bit more of that white with the Everclear. Just paint this and then attach it because really I just need it to be wet. All right, I'm not worried about this coming off because I'm going to smush it into the sides. So let's put this on. And then I'm going to come over here to the side and I'm just going to use my fingers and kind of push it down the sides. I don't want to do anything to this part though. I want this part to stay just like I rolled it, have that nice rounded edge, so don't get too pushy right there. I'm going to use my X-Acto knife or my Thingamajiggy, whatever you are comfortable with. I'm going to hold it at the top and hold it at the bottom so that I don't break any of the icing. And I'm just going to come right down there and pull that off. Okay. I haven't started attaching it to the cookie yet. All right. Flip this. I just want a nice smooth downward line to cut it off. Take off any of the cookie crumb that's still attached and just throw that part out because the rest of the fondant is still usable. And pick up your cookie. And then you just want to smear this into the side of the cookie. Okay? Just smear it down. Use your hands. Just sculpt it a little bit. But pushing it into the side of the cookie not only finishes the side of the cookie, but it makes sure that fondant's going to stay attached. And then you can use your fingers, gloved or ungloved, whatever you are comfortable with. Do the same thing on the other side, being careful that while you're doing all that smushing and scraping that you don't damage the height that you created right here for the roundedness. And then take your finger right here and round this out and round this out. We don't want a static log like a Tootsie Roll across our cookie. We want it rounded. So let's work on that. Use our hands. You got to do this quickly. Now you'll have a little bit more time if you're using fondant and modeling chocolate with just fondant, and then depending on what brand, you get a little more elasticity, you get a little bit longer working time, like all those things, okay? All right, so I like how that looks. It looks like it's attached well to the cookie. It's rounded. I like that. Okay, it's looking good here. Looking good on your end there. All right, so I'm going to take these two little bits that I got the cookie stuff out of, and I'm going to pinch just a tiny bit more off here. And I'm going to make that second area, that second roll across there. I can't believe it. All right, let's thin it out. You guys can watch the replay on YouTube. All right, I'm going to make this one a little thinner, and I don't want it thinner widthwise, and then I also don't want it as tall. I want it to start looking recessed because I'm using this as a way to create dimension on the cookie. All right. Who's still with me tonight? All right, same thing on the side. Just push it down, push it into the side of the cookie. I didn't even put any water because I made the first swipe so big that it still had moisture. So I'm just going to tuck this in, smushing the sides. You see how we got that different relief right there? And then you can use your fondant tools or your paint brushes. I mean, anything you want to kind of shape this a little bit. Okay, I'm liking how this looks. I like the angles. Looks good to me. And now I'm going to make the ball at the top. Now the ball can be oversized. That just totally. Hey, Lavelle, Allison. Thank you guys. Nadine's still here too. Kelly's still here. Good. Thank y'all for hanging out with me. All right, I'm just going to put a little bit of liquid there. I don't need a lot. I made a nice little ball, like basically like a gnome nose. And I'm going to push that into place because I want it to be rounded, so I don't really want to pull it down the side of the cookie, right? And then I'm just going to use my paintbrush to shape it if I got misshapen while I was attaching it to the. Now, the ball of this cookie jar is the only area of the 3 sections. Now what I'm going to do is take my paintbrush and I'm going to round this second layer so that I cover in that area. But I'm going to do it with my paintbrush so it's soft. It's not done. Oh, I made a little dent over here. I hope you guys can't see that. My hand was sitting in it a little too long. But I'm going to use this as my smoother, and I'm also going to use it to fill in this area next to the ball. So go buy your class, your year-long celebration class group, and go buy the $25 class that just went up for sale. We're going to make our own sprinkles. We're going to make our own little sprinkle coins. We're going to make regular sprinkles. Like, going to talk about customizing and how you get that great matched look in case you need to do it for a wedding or a birthday or a dessert buffet you're doing for somebody, how you achieve that with your custom desserts. Okay, a little more right there. Let's see if we can make it work with this though. So I'm just kind of sculpting in here and filling in that empty area, checking it on both sides. Yeah, I'm liking that. But I need to do something with this right here. This is a little too much on here. You can also use an X-Acto knife on the sides if you need to. Just be careful so you don't take a bunch of the cookie off. Okay, now let's talk about this. If this cookie were like I wanted it to be really fancy, I could use what Miss Jessie Ann Riley taught us how to do with making glass globes. And I would have done this on a round cookie. And I could have made a globe that I could have put over the jar so the jar was actually rounded with the cookies on the inside of it. I would have done that using isomalt. Man, I smushed this in 2 places. Let me see if I can fix it real quick because I want the picture to look nice for you guys tomorrow. Let's see if I can smooth that out a little. My God, it's clunky when you put gloves on, but I like that. I think that looks good. Okay, so you could do that. You could put in whatever it is you want to put in the jar, and then you can pour isomalt on top of that. So you have a very thin layer of isomalt, which is basically just sugar-free candy on here. Oh, I hope I don't have to scrape that and redo it. But for tonight, let's use, where did I put them? I have that. First of all, let me just see if those transfers happen to be dry enough that we can put them straight in there. Never hurts to check. They might be, actually, you guys. Do you want to, let's put the pink ones in there, or do you want to put the chocolate chip? I don't want to put both, so you vote over in the comments. Do you want chocolate chip cookies in the jar, or do you want the pink sugar cookies? One or the other. You guys vote over in the comments because they actually, I think, will pop off of here. They're still wet on the bottom, but they'll pop off enough that I can, with my thingamajiggy, I can scrape them off. So do you want pink? Chocolate chip all the way. So you could use that technique. So it's a dent. Oh, Allison, that's funny. It's an antique cookie jar, so it's not a dent. It's an imperfection of character. That's so funny. Oh, guys. Well, we have more chocolate chip than votes for pink. So is it okay if I go with chocolate chip? And we'll just get her done. All right. So who has already purchased their $25 class and who's going to be in the Zoom Friday night? Anybody? Oh, now we have another vote for pink. Okay, I got to take these gloves off, though. I'm just dropping this extra fondant into a tipless piping bag and getting the air out because for some reason my press and seal has disappeared. I don't have any idea where it is. I know I have it. I've got like 6 bags. You guys want to see, you want to see the pink? There's more votes for pink now. You guys got to get over there and vote. Roll this out a little. And I was going to paint this fondant gold. Do you guys want to see that? Pink for anything. All right, I'm going pink. I'm going pink because there's a lot of you that said pink. There's like 4 more of you now where all the feeds coming in from all the sites. I was going to paint the top gold. Maybe I should do that first. So this is my non-toxic gold. You use whatever gold you are comfortable with. But I'm going to paint right on the fondant. And I did mix this up before we started our tutorial so that it would thin, the Everclear would have time to evaporate, because I like it when it's really smooth like this. And the only way to get it really smooth like this is to be comfortable with it not running onto another surface, because to get it like this, it has to be thinner. So hopefully it won't run down. Hopefully my hand is steady enough tonight. It feels like it is. Some nights, not so much. Like I really have to plan when I do wedding cookies, because some nights it just does not work for me. So I asked my husband, I was like, babe, I really want to have a Zoom class before the end of the year with my cookie peeps. And I said, how about Friday night? And he's like, Friday night? That's close. I was like, yeah, but I don't really want to get involved in everybody's Saturday plans because it's the Saturday before Christmas, but I want to spend some time with them. So he was like, yeah, Friday night's cool. Now, I like to let my fondant set up for anywhere from 4 to 6 hours before I paint on it. But as I was saying earlier, it's so dry in here that it's already got a crust on it. So now I'm just painting right on that, and it seems to be fine. Now, where we did that painting earlier kind of sealed the cookie, but if you forgot to do that, you can paint the metallic right on your cookie. No one's eating this cookie. This is just a for fun cookie. Okay. I'm going all the way to the sides because, again, that's going to make it look like the cookie has a lot of dimension. You guys, which way? This way? Can you see it? You see how good it covers when it's like this? This is just Everclear 150 something. It's not even the really good Everclear. All right, let's see how smooth it is. Look at that. Isn't that pretty? Okay, looking good. I'm gonna put a little bit right here. This part's done. We're gonna add these cookies. We're gonna do the pink sparkly. You can add them with piping gel and they will stick, but I'm just gonna put a little bit of I'm going to put a little bit of white icing in here. Okay. Yay, Lavelle got the class. Cool. The gold's pretty, isn't it? Gold. So grab your class, you guys. I want to spend some time with you. And I want you to learn these techniques because we're going to use them throughout the year. So your cookie jar doesn't have to be like jammed full. You can put as much or as little as you want. You could just do those little sparkly beaded candies that we got at Walmart earlier in the year. You can do that if you want. Just to make it look like a candy jar instead of a cookie jar. And I just did these. You guys have been on here with me the whole time. So what I like to do is start at the bottom and kind of angle them in and just let them touch the icing. I'm scraping underneath because the underneath is not dry, so that's going to help it a little bit more. Put a couple flat, a couple angled, let them build. Just put them in here kind of cattywampus. Is that a real word? I don't know. I don't even know where that comes from. But around here, it means disheveled, not in perfect order. I don't know what it means where you're from. All right. But you see how I'm just kind of let's go in a little bit. Like I'm just turning them different directions. That's a really good view on that camera, isn't it, girls? Look at that. All right. Now be careful if you are doing a competition piece, my only word of caution to you right here would be you're working on a wet royal icing transfer and you have colored sugar and you need to test the sugar in wet icing before you start working with it on a competition piece because not all sugar, I'm going to leave that one right there and tuck another one in there because it flipped over. Not all sugar is created equal, and some sugar will bleed. So you'll get like hazy marks. I'd hate for you to spend that much time on something and then, you know, a competition piece or whatever, and go to look at it the next day and your sugar bled all into your icing. It's so much easier to do this when these are dry because you can just pick them up and place them or use tweezers. I'm having to be a lot more careful. But check your sugar, okay? Oh my gosh, these are just so cute. Now look, I really would have made a whole sheet of these and then I would not be having this problem, but I'm going to run out of cookies before all that icing is covered. So I am going to use some of the other pink in here. Okay, but they match. I mean, they're pink sugar, so they're going to tie in nicely, but I'm not going to mix the chocolate chip in. I'm just going to mix a couple of these just to fill it up. Okay, it's cute, right? Okie dokie. And do you see the difference it makes by having that, taken the time to have done that recessed area in the cookie jar? I mean, you guys can see it now, right? Why that was important. All right, hold on. I'll take a little one. And did you notice I tried to do bigger cookies and then medium and then the baby ones? All right, so there we go. Now, if I wanted to, I would wait and let this set up. And when this is totally set up, because I don't want to, if I were going to do ice malt, I would want this to be all that icing to be dry because I wouldn't want the ice malt to melt any of that icing. But I certainly could do a layer of ice malt just right in there and over this part, and it'd be so cute. Okie dokie. Let's get this little bit of sugar off here. We don't want that to sit or die, that white icing. It's a cute little cookie jar. Now, the other thing you can do on these is you could do the multiple layers with this. And they would be really cute for Valentine's Day to put messages in them where they have to crack the cookie open. Do you know what I mean? Like crack it open to get the jar. So you could offer that as something custom for people. Just make sure that you keep your custom stuff really organized so that you don't give somebody the wrong thing. You don't want to give somebody a cookie jar that says, "Marry me," when it should just be a cutesy, like, you know, cute one thing from one friend to another. So do you see how cool this looks? I'm going to try to flip it without the cookies falling off. See how much dimension one cookie went. One cookie left the nest. Hold on. Let's put that back in there. There we go. So see how much dimension we got by doing that and then recessing that little bit. I got a little gold on here though somehow. I don't know how I did that. So let me just get that off while the cookie's still wet. I'll put a little bit more white over that real quick. And then this little guy's done. Yep, there we go. All done. So there's your pink sugar cookies in your cookie jar. I might scrape that though, guys. I might fix that before tomorrow. So if you see it and it looks a little different, because that's going to photograph really bad in the sun. So I might just fix that. All right. Any questions for tonight? Anybody got anything? So we need just a couple more people to purchase the year admission to the celebration group so that we can unlock another level in the group of things that we're going to do every month. And the class, a pre-recorded class, will drop its Christmas ornaments with the cutters from Amazon, but you can do it on any ornament cutters. Do not try to order those cutters right now. You don't need them. Just whatever you want to do. Use the ornaments you already have. You guys are so welcome. What's that say? By the time I know, but see, this one is not one I would do if it was mass production. This was just for fun to give you some techniques because your little brains are popping on techniques lately. Hey, Tahisha, I'm so glad to see you. I'm glad you liked it. Put it up here where you can see it. I'm going to scrape that and fix that as soon as we end the live. Hey, Julie, you're welcome. All right, so I need four more of you to go pick up that year-long class. Get it tonight because the price is going up. I have to stop giving it away at the discounted price. So you have to get it tonight while it's on sale. Holding the line as long as I can. And then grab the $25 class because we're making our embellishments and everything. So it's great techniques to know if you're going to hold on. Sorry about that. It's going to be great techniques to know if you need to know how to customize things. So it's not just about doing Christmas ornament cookies. It's going to be lots of techniques, and we're going to make the embellishments. So pop on over there, grab that $25 class. The pre-recorded version will drop in the group on Thursday, and we will have a Zoom class, an actual Zoom live class on Friday night starting at 7. So I hope you guys will join me. If you want to treat it like a Christmas party, you can just pay the $25 to get in, and I will see you Friday night. I know it's been a rough one, but 2024 is going to be better. It's going to be so much better, Elisa. You'll see. All right. Merry Christmas, you guys. I will see you again. I'll see you again before Christmas on something I have planned for this week on the live streams. But as far as Tutorial Tuesday, we won't have another one until the day after. Oh, yeah. Nadine, do you want me to message you the link to go buy your classes? Merry Christmas, you guys. All right. I'm going to end the Instagram first. Okay, hold on. Let's see what's happening over here. Bye, Instagram followers. Aloha, aloha. Now, just so you guys know, if you were watching on Instagram, I can't see you when I'm live, and the videos disappear. So if you ever need to message me, just message me. It'll come through over on the Facebook side. But good night, you guys. So good to see you. Okay, yes, I will send you the link for the class in just a couple of seconds when we end this live stream. Okay, you guys? Merry Christmas. I'll see you soon. Bye.